Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to provide a very short recap on precautions today, but we really want to dive into really how to use our oils to support our body systems and how to really use the Young Living lifestyle to support wellness in all aspects of our lives. So we're going to be talking about emotions and discomfort and hormones and sleep and all the things that are the most commonly asked. And sometimes these remedies exist outside the starter kit. So we're going to share with you some of our favorites that are outside of the starter kit, and as well as mention the things that are inside. So I am going to share a screen here. I put just a few slides together, Allison. Let me just see here if I can get it to cooperate. View. Here we go. Okay, apparently I have to share it first. Okay, share, then present. Okay, there we go. Can you guys see the screen? Good? Okay, you're on mute. So I want to just briefly talk about the ways to use oils for anyone that is new. So we can use, I'm only going to be talking about Young Living during this class. So everything we talk about is Young Living because we know how safe and pure these oils are. Please do not use other brands like we're mentioning right now. You really seriously can hurt yourself because other brands often have synthetic chemicals in there that are quite dangerous. So with Young Living oils, we can use them topically. So that could be on something that's having discomfort, like a knee, joint, or some kind of topical, and you can use it for a face serum, etc. But there's also more pores on the bottom of our feet than anywhere else in the body. So those are great. It's a great place to put oils. Some precautions with using oils topically is that you don't want to put them in your eyes or in your ears. If you are dealing with anything around that needs support, your eyes and your ears, just use them around your eyes and around your ears. Oils are absorbed in the skin in less than 30 seconds when they're undiluted. So they get into the bloodstream very, very quickly through our skin. The next way is aromatic. So that can be either smelling an oil or diffusing an oil, or putting an oil in your hands and huffing it, or wearing a diffuser necklace like I'm wearing here. So the fastest way to affect your emotions is through smell. So when you're using oils for smell, that is usually the purpose is for improving your emotions in some way, which we'll get into some more detail later. And then internally. So when we use oils internally, again, only Young Living, please. Sorry, my screen is doing something wonky. When you use oils internally, you can do them in different ways. You can put them in your water, you can put them in a teaspoon of honey, you can put them in a veggie capsule, and you can take them for all different reasons internally, but those are the simplified ways to use our oils. I'm gonna move on to the next slide here. Just making sure I didn't go too far. Sorry, this is really weird because there's a band of faces through my screen and I'm trying to see. There we go. Okay, so we'll want to talk about the toxins in our home. And if you've ever been to an intro class, at least from our team, we talk a lot about this because it's lovely to have oils in our home that are really good for our body. But if you also are using a lot of chemicals in your home still, you're fighting against yourself. So I want to quickly talk about some of the heavy hitters that you'll find in your home. So in your hand soaps and a lot of products, there's a chemical called sodium lauryl sulfate. It's a foaming agent. It is very destructive for the hormones, for the skin, for the immune system. And ironically, it's in soap, which is what we are trying to use right now to stay healthy. So we really want to avoid that chemical, sodium lauryl sulfate. One of the other chemicals we need to really watch out for is triclosan. So anything that says antibacterial is not good for us. So antibacterial hand soap is literally putting an antibiotic. It is an antibiotic that you're putting onto your skin that goes directly into your bloodstream that kills the microbiome in your body, as well as killing the good germs on your hand that protect us from the bad germs. So that's another one that we really want to be careful of. And then fragrance is the heaviest hitter of all of them. So if you see fragrance or parfum or phthalates on anything, run and find yourself something unscented. Or we're going to talk about some of our products that are amazing, that are do not have chemicals in them. So I'm going to actually stop sharing for a second. So I'm having a hard time with sharing that screen and seeing my notes at the same time. I want to talk briefly about Thieves Products. So everyone on this call should be somewhat familiar with Thieves. That Thieves is the oil that is antiviral and antibacterial, which is, it's a super, super powerful blend. It's been used for thousands, hundreds, at least hundreds of years. And these plants actually used to be used during the Black Plague. So if there's any time we should be using Thieves, it's right now. And Young Living makes an entire product line of Thieves products that we can use to clean our home that is less expensive than buying other store-bought items and is way more effective and completely safe. So when you see on a bottle and it says do not get on your skin and do not ingest it, like these are scary things we should be really careful of, right? So the Thieves Household Cleaner, which I meant to bring in my office, is a concentrate. And you only need a capful at a time to have a very, very potent cleaner. We also have dish soap and laundry soap and dishwashing powder. And what am I missing as far as the Thieves line is concerned? I mean, I think that's most of it, because pretty much you can do everything with the Thieves cleaner. It's super, super versatile and powerful. So while we're talking about all these products that can support living clean lifestyle, I thought we would share our loyalty program, because when you're going to start buying things as replacements in your home, it's really good to be able to save money while doing that. So I'm going to show you how to save money doing that. Let me see. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we have something called an Essential Rewards program. It is an optional program from Young Living. It is not required, but it is one of the best deals of any loyalty program I've ever seen ever. So how the loyalty program works is you buy what you want, you have it shipped on the day you want to ship it each month, and you just need to spend 50 PB, which in the US is $1, as I say, equivalent to $1. And the first 3 months you're on it, you get 10% back of everything you buy. That goes into basically a bucket with Young Living that acts as like a rebate that you can use as cash, Young Living cash. After 3 months, it jumps to 20% back of everything you buy. And after 2 years or 25 months, you get 25% back on everything you buy. So my points accumulate so quickly that often I have to find like, oh my goodness, I have all these points to spend. I need to go replace all the things, or maybe try something new, or I want a new lipstick and I get it for free, or whatever it is. So the beauty of this is that everything you buy on Essential Rewards, you earn points on. You also get gifts from Young Living. So on your first year, you get a gift in your first 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then 12 months. And these are oils that I promise you will love and enjoy, that you get as these gifts for doing this. You can cancel it anytime. And you also get free exclusive promos every month. So every month there's a promo for buying on Essential Rewards. So Allison, we were going to cover oral health next. You okay to talk about that? I know it's one of our favorite subjects.
Yes. Let me get my notes so I don't ramble, because I love these products and I'm afraid I will. Of course, as Ellie mentioned, the Thieves product, all the oral health products are based on the Thieves. And so it's really healing, so healing to your mouth. There's a toothpaste, a floss, and a mouthwash, which we're going to talk about. The toothpaste I love. Young Living's gone through several different ones, and this is the newest, and I love it. It's a whitening toothpaste. And what's neat about it, it's of course got all the bacterial fighting things that Thieves has in it, so it keeps your mouth very clean. And sometimes, you know, when we brush, we think we get all the spots, but we may have missed some. This really goes into your your mouth. And Allie, I hope I'm saying this right. Basically, it contains liposomes, and they have like a 6 to 8 hour time release. So you brush your teeth, you're off doing your thing, and you're continuously getting a lot of the benefits of all of the great things in Thieves toothpaste, since it is a time release thing. And it also, the thing that's really good about it, it remineralizes the enamel on your teeth. And this is the
Will you
real
explain that? Will you explain what remineralization is for someone who doesn't know what that is?
Well, I don't know if I can explain it as well as you can. Why don't you take that one? Because I've just actually learned about this part, Ellie.
Well, so when you get a cavity, you've actually lost minerals. And so remineralization means that you can actually get rid of a cavity. We have this like mindset that there's like a bug in our mouth that has to be drilled out and filled in, but you actually can remineralize your teeth when you have a cavity, so that the cavity that cavitation heals.
Yeah. Also, from a whitening perspective, there's an enzyme in the toothpaste which actually whitens, and it doesn't erode your enamel. So many teeth whiteners, and I've looked a lot of them up, and some of the ingredients in them are very, very harsh, and can really be damaging to the enamel on your teeth. So the great thing about this, it's got these, what's the word I want? Anyway, it's got a solution in it which will whiten your teeth, and it really works well. It's got some oils infused with that as well. So that's the good part. The next product I think let me go back to the toothpaste. One more thing. I have a son with special needs, and what I love especially about this is that I hated that when he brushed his teeth, he doesn't know how to spit. So he would swallow. And when I started really looking up all of the ingredients in toothpaste, it really upset me, because he was ingesting all of this stuff. So if he swallows, okay, I don't care. It's not damaging to him. So that's good. I think the other product I want to talk about is the mouthwash. This one I love. Now, some people feel it's a little too strong. It is extremely strong, but the Thieves mouthwash has a lot of amazing ingredients. It's got the Thieves blend. In addition, it's got colloidal silver, which if you've done any research on that, it's great for your immune system. There's a lot of discussion now about colloidal silver in this environment we're in. So it contains this. And again, if you have missed spots on your teeth, this is another way to make sure that it's getting into those areas. And again, for my son, because he won't spit, I don't really let him drink it. But what I do, I put it on. You can do this on the younger ones, dilute it if you've got really little ones. But on him, I don't. I put it on a Q-tip and I rub it all over his mouth. If you have a mouth sore, an ulcer, this is amazing for that. You gargle with it. And again, because it is so strong, and some people feel this too strong for them to use on a daily basis, they dilute it. So you can take half of it and put it in another container, fill the rest with their purified water, always shake it, and then that will last you for many, 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 many months.
Allison, you want to tell your story about your dentist?
Yes. So I had an issue with bone. I had to get a bone graft because when I had a root canal, they left a piece of the file down in there, and I didn't know it for years, and it eroded the bone. Had to go in and get a bone graft. With that, my dentist said, okay, you have to take this antiseptic. You have to rinse every day. It's just critical once we do the surgery. So I took it, and I went home and I looked up on it, and it was just, there's a really good app called Think Dirty, and you can scan the bar of any ingredient that you have or of any product you have, and it'll go tell you all the information in it. What's a neurotoxin, what's carcinogen. Well, this one was full of all of that stuff. And I thought, oh no, I'm not going to use that. So all I use is my Thieves mouthwash. And I took some other supplements to help with my the bone growth and everything. And I'm 66. And when I went back into him 2 weeks later, he told me, he said, now you're going to heal a lot slower based on your age. It's going to take a long time. He was absolutely amazed. And all he said was, I can tell you're really using the antiseptic because it is so clean there. And I'm like, I didn't tell him at first because I knew he'd roll his eyes, but I told him later and he was really surprised about that. But it's really good to kill a lot of bacteria and things in your mouth. So I highly recommend that. The other product real quickly is the floss. It's great floss. It also is infused with Thieves. So when you're flossing, you taste that wonderful cinnamon, clove taste. I remember when I was a young kid back in the 50s, whenever we had a tooth issue, my mom always gave us whole cloves and we would chew on them, and that would help us. So this is kind of the basis of a lot of these, the Thieves line has high concentration of clove and cinnamon and those things in it. So these are really great for your teeth. I highly recommend you all consider trying these.
As well as the fact is that make your teeth really white. So aesthetically, it's really nice too. Okay, so what I love this slide, and I stole these slides, some of these slides from Anna this morning. They did a class similar for the South Africans specifically, but I think the point is really, really important, is that we get in this habit of when we have a headache, we grab a specific over-the-counter, and when we have discomfort of another kind, we grab something, or when we can't go to the bathroom, we grab something. And it's, you know, we've kind of been trained through our lives that these are the drugs that we need. And so basically, this is a reminder, reset of, you know, sit back and realize that there is a plant that likely does what you need at any one time. And for me, this goes back to Mother Nature and to God, is that we have been given everything that we need. And we just have to use our resources or our community to figure out, you know, what oil to grab in a time of need. So I highly, highly recommend that if you don't already have the Pocket on the Go app, that you get it. It is super useful. If you're in the States, you can even get the desk reference. It's really amazing to have that on hand. So if you ever have an issue, you can look it up for yourself or people that you care about. So there is an oil for that, or a supplement for that. So we were going to talk next about emotions. And I have to be honest with you that I personally really struggled with, when I first started with Young Living, when people would talk about, you know, just how their emotions had completely been changed with oils. And I came from a high-tech world of all men, all science, all black and white. And I struggled with that piece. Like I could see that when I put an oil on something and it fell off my body, okay, that's physical proof that it worked, right? But emotions were a harder thing for me to grasp. However, we use oils for emotions all the time now. And I use them because I've seen that they work. But it first started for me with my son, who has ADD. So he has a lot of issues focusing and calming down. And when I first started, he was 3 years old. I think 4 years old when I started using Young Living. And we were really struggling with him in school. He just had a major attention issue. And I started to read studies about how they would have children who were diagnosed with ADHD, and they would run brain scans on them, and they would test different oils with them to see how it actually changed the brain waves. And for me, that was the science I needed to prove to me that oils really do impact our emotions. So we have used them not only for calming crazy children, but we've used them for mood uplifting, we've used them for anxiety, and we have some really, really powerful stories on our team of people who have used them in very serious situations, like people who are feeling very, very down, people who are having such severe anxiety that they, you know, have a hard time getting up and talking to others. So some of the best oil, first of all, I want to say there is a book that I highly recommend. It is called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils by Carolyn Main, I think is how you say her last name. You can get this on Amazon. You can actually get it via Kindle as well if you are in a country that you can't get this book. I prefer the hard copy, to be honest with you, because it really is a reference book. And so it's kind of easier to use the physical book than, and I actually am a digital person, so the fact that I said that, it means something, but I like everything in electronic version. But it's really a great book, because if you're really struggling with a specific emotion, you can look up the emotion in the book and you can see what the alarm point is, where to apply it, and which oil to choose. But I would say some really basics on emotions, because there's so many emotions and there's so many amazing emotional oils, is all citrus oils are mood uplifting. All floral oils are mood uplifting. All tree oils are grounding. And then there's some really specific blends that are good for different things. Like white angelica is great for protecting against negativity around you. So when you know you're going to be around negative people and you really want to protect yourself from that, white angelica is a great pick. Joy, who doesn't want to be happy all the time? That blend was made for that purpose. It's one that I wear with two others in my diffuser necklace, my favorite combo I wear every day. Calming oils for crazy children, vetiver, cedarwood. We also have a blend in the US called Genius, which I love. It's a great blend for calming children and helping them focus. So those are kind of some of the generics on emotional oils. But one other thing I want to mention about emotions is that when you start to study the emotions about oils, it's really, really interesting, because dis-ease presents disease. So there is a huge correlation between emotions and physical distress. And so what's really interesting is that if you are someone who really deals with, let's say, digestive issues when you get stressed out, and then you start to look at the oils that are good for digestion, they're often the same oils that are good for supporting the emotions you're dealing with. So it's really, really interesting how the emotional use for an oil can also help the physical ailment that you may be getting when you are feeling that emotion. Okay, and I think Allison just got up. Okay, so Kim, do you want to talk about hormones? Because I think you did an amazing job talking about hormones this morning.
Wow, put me on the spot. Okay, so life is all about balance, and we balance our professional lives, our private lives, we balance proteins and carbs, and it's very much the same thing with your hormones and your libido. So I'm not so much a spring chicken anymore, and I've learned just how unbalanced things can be. And I discovered Progestins Plus one day when I was watching Ellie unpack one of her Essential Rewards monthly orders on her Choosing Joy Facebook group towards the end of last year, and I decided to give it a try. So Progestins Plus is not just an essential oil, but it's a natural progesterone supplement with essential oils and wild yam extract. Our body needs progesterone for libido and overall wellness. Many women's issues like endometriosis, menstrual migraines, PMS, hot flashes, night sweats are related to low levels of natural progesterone. And our progesterone production naturally decreases over time and tends to drop dramatically for many women after childbirth. And when it drops too low, our sex drive disappears with it. So Progestins Plus not only smells amazing, many women wear it as a perfume, and one bottle lasts for months. I've literally just finished this baby after starting it in January. Oh, now I have dogs barking. Endoflex is my next must-have. We don't get these in South Africa, by the way. I ship these from the US, so this is how much I love them. Endoflex is an endocrine supporting essential oil blend. The endocrine system is responsible for telling your body what hormones to produce and when to produce them. Using Endoflex daily can be beneficial for your thyroid, your libido, your metabolism, And after having adrenal fatigue last year, for me, it's been a game changer for my energy levels. You can apply it topically over your thyroid, kidneys, liver, or you can take it internally in your Ningxia Red or orange juice. Delicious, actually. And then I focused this morning on 3 oils that we have in our South African store. And I don't think I actually need to go into many more because these are it. But there are so many benefits to Cypress Essential Oil. It is high in monoterpenes, which is a big word that does a lot of stuff in the body. It inhibits the accumulation of toxins, helps discharge existing toxins from the liver and kidney. It is an antiseptic, expectorant, and has diuretic qualities. It is fantastic to support the circulatory system, and it is famous for strengthening blood vessels by increasing their ability to contract and release, which improves blood flow, and this is why it's your go-to for varicose veins. It is also a gentle diuretic, so it helps in flushing out toxins, and it works beautifully together with grapefruit. The grapefruit breaks down some fatty tissue, and Cypress strengthens the circulation and flushes out toxins, so really deals with that cellulite, making your booty look fabulous. But Cypress's real magic and secret lies between the sheets and helping ladies get swollen in the floodgates, because Cypress stimulates blood flow and circulation in the body, and the chemical constituents are like a magical potion that sucks all heat and blood from your legs upwards and inwards. So I suggest making a thigh oil with a carrier oil, Cypress, and your choice of orange, lang lang, or clary sage. But you need to remember that Cypress equals blood flow, and blood flow equals magic. And then we have Dragon Time, which is a hormone balancing blend.
Can I pause for just 1 second? By the way, Cypress not only helps women down there, but blood flow for men is
for
also
men too,
really important.
The same thigh oil for men, exactly. So Dragon Time is a hormone balancing blend developed just for that time of the month to literally tame the dragon. Nobody wants to deal with wicked PMS and menstrual woes, and this blend was developed to ease cramped muscles, improve your mood, calm the mind, and balance your hormones. So have it in a hot Epsom salt bath at night, or apply it topically over your abdomen during the day, and share this one with your teenage daughters. They'll really thank you for it. Clary Sage is the third amazing single blend oil. Well, not, but anyway. Clary Sage is a lady's oil that has been used since the beginning of time for hormonal issues. It's your best friend during PMS, during your flow, and for the hormonal drop it leaves behind. It's one of the main oils in the Dragon Time blend. At that time of the month, your estrogen levels drop drastically, which is why you may feel the need to break down and cry tragically when you can't get your accessories to match, because everything is tragic when your estrogen levels are low. And as we age, our estrogen drops. And one sign of low estrogen is dryness down there. And that's how this all ties in again with libido. You see, a woman naturally feels more in the mood when her estrogen levels are higher, because our estrogen levels are the highest when we are ovulating, because we are quite literally designed to mate when we are fertile. So using a drop of clary sage daily elevates your natural levels of estrogen, so you can feel more lubricated and in the mood. You can apply it to your forearms, wrists, the reproductive points of your vitaflex points on your feet, on the back of your neck, below your navel. And again, you could make a thigh oil, which you apply to your inner thighs from your knee to the crease, your panty line crease, and below the navel. You may as well mix this with Cypress, and this is good for increasing your natural lubrication. You can also diffuse clary sage. It's a middle note, which means that it's not super floral or super earthy, and it mixes beautifully with top notes like orange, lang lang, or joy. You could also make a veggie capsule and fill it with olive oil with 1 to 2 drops of clary sage, but there is a health warning that this could make you more fertile. So the amazing things about these products is that they contain phytoestrogens and naturally occurring progesterone. And the phytoestrogens, like those found in clary sage, are plant hormones that are similar in makeup to mammal estrogens and are bioavailable in the body, which is really super cool. However, synthetic progesterone, which is what we're often prescribed, and synthetic estrogen are not completely compatible with the body, so they can have serious side effects. And by serious, I mean like cell mutation bad. And studies have shown that bodies with high levels of natural hormones, either from human or plant-derived hormones, have a decreased risk of these diseases, whereas a body with low levels of natural hormones or pumped with synthetic hormones run the risk of these diseases being increased. So the moral of the story is that synthetic hormones are bad, human hormones are the best, and plant hormones are the next best thing. And Progessence Plus, Endoflex, Cypress, Clary Sage, and Dragon Time should be your new BFFs. And all these bottled beauties will help you feel happy, collected, and balanced with your hormones in check.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. Allison, I think you were going to add on some pieces about post-cycle, right?
Yeah.
Menopause.
Yeah. Yes, I'd love to. I'm obviously past all of that, a lot of those issues, and I had an easy menopause situation. So it's really hit me last year. I don't know what happened, but I started losing my hair. My skin was very dry. I had hot flashes that started back. So I did get some blood work done, and I was low in a couple of hormones, and one specifically was one called DHEA, which is a hormone we all have. And as you get older, it decreases, like a lot of things do over time. And there is a supplement. So I talked to my doctor, and I showed her the solutions that the products that Young Living had, and we started off with something called PD 80/20, and it's high in DHEA, and I was low in that. So I started taking that for a month, and she told me to also make sure I had plenty of collagen. So there's a lot of products that have collagen in them, so I made sure I had that as well. And then I would use Endoflex, and I use the Endoflex. I like to put things under my tongue because it gets into your system very quickly. So I'd put 3 drops of Endoflex under my tongue, and it made a major difference for me. My hair stopped falling out. It was so bad that I really was ready to get a wig. It was just, I was awful. Every time I'd touch it, it was like, oh no, there's more. And so that immediately stopped. Now it took, as you can imagine, a long time for it to finally come back in. Everything seemed fine. She told me to stop taking the PA20. Your body's fine now. And this was last year. All of a sudden, 3 months ago, it started back again. So this time, after doing more research, I decided, and getting some tests done, and it showed up my thyroid was a little bit off. So I made we talked about it, and so now there's 2 products that I really, well, 3 I use now. Well, one is Thyromin, which is a capsule. I take 2 of these every night. And Allie, after hearing your thyroid story and doing some research, I decided to try it. I also now take something called Cortistop. It has the DHE in it, DHEA, a little bit less than the other one did. But this is for people, remember, when you're under a lot of stress, it really affects your body. And it affects especially your DHEA is one of them. It affects everything. So, and your cortisol levels just go crazy. So this is one that I take. I take one every day, and then for 30 days, and then I don't do it for another 2 to 3 weeks. You're supposed to get off of it for a while, and then I start it again. And when I've done this, and I still do my Endoflex, no more hot flashes, no more issues. Skin's not dry, hair's not falling out. It's made a major difference for me. So if you've got any issues, you know, or you want to private message me, I can write all this down. But it was a major, and by the way, the doctor originally wanted to put me on a lot of synthetic stuff. And I'm so grateful that I didn't do that. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Allison. I also want to mention, if you have children, Indoflex is safe from birth until death for boys and girls. So I use it on my children to help them, their hormones regulate, and I use it on myself to help my hormones and my thyroid regulate. Progestins Plus is only for women. And so for my daughter, if she has issues, when the time comes, we're getting close to that time where she might need some help getting regular, that would be something I would use after her cycle has started. You don't want to use on children before their cycle starts. So I just want to be clear about it. Progestins Plus is only for women after they've started their period and is good through death. It's really good postmenopausal as well. I had one more thought. Oh, there was one other thing about hormone balancing. That there's a product called Power Jive that men's testosterone level really drops like after their 20s. And women, we know our testosterone level drops like premenopausal. So I really like that supplement as well, Power Jive. My husband takes it every day and my mom takes it every day. I did try it on myself and it made my cycle wonky, so I don't think that I'm ready for it yet. I like to experiment on myself and see, and I didn't need it yet. So just thought I would share that piece on hormones. Okay, so next up is, does anyone have questions about hormones before we move on? This has been kind of a one-way dialogue. I was going to open for questions at the end, but I feel like hormones are complicated. Okay, if you do, just put in the chat. And I'm going to come back to the question about fluoride at the end because it's a really good discussion. Pain was our next subject. Allison, you want to take on pain?
Yeah, sure will. First of all, Young Living has a lot of products to support your body for pain. But the best one you've got, first of all, is what you got in your kit, which is Panaway. It used to be called Pain Away, and I guess they changed the name now to Panaway, but it's a good way to remember it. Panaway is an incredible oil blend. The main ingredients in it are wintergreen, and a lot of us know about wintergreen. Especially if you're my generation, you remember the Bengay. Every time I smell wintergreen, it's like some old person's around putting Bengay on, because that's what it was, right? Wintergreen has a lot of properties, great properties for reduce inflammation and pain. It's also got a great oil in it called helichrysum, which is an anti-inflammatory, and it's just one of the best. Actually, it's what Allie's using on her hand because she fell. And so it's got, and I believe it's got a few other things in it too, but that's the main thing. What I do, I decided, when you got your kit, if you opened up the very bottom, you had a roller ball with a black top on it. So this is one for me that I choose a roller ball. So if I've got an arm that's sore, if I got a leg that's sore, a muscle anywhere, this is a great one to just put on just like it is. So, and now I actually love the smell, but it's a great one for it. There's another product that Young Living has, which so let's say you've got a joint or some area and it's a big area, surface area. You can put some in some carrier oil and dilute it. Or they also have a product called Cool, I'm out of it because my husband used it, but it's called Cool Azul Gel. And it's a tube, and it's really has the same ingredients and smell as the as Panaway, but it goes over a larger surface. And that's also a really great one to use. In terms of internally, I think one of the better ones that I love to use also, I don't think I have it with me here, but it's called Agiles. And Agiles are capsules, and they are really like I'd call it like a natural ibuprofen. The ingredients in it is turmeric, which if you've read a lot about turmeric, and it's used very extensively all through Eastern India and a lot of areas, and it's even all over the world now for its anti-inflammatory properties. It's got frankincense in it. It's got collagen 2 in it. So Agiles capsules and it's got hyaluronic acid. So they're excellent for any type of joint or muscle pain as well. Or it's especially good for athletes if you're an athlete, or if you are middle-aged or in your senior years and you have any kind of a joint pain or anything like that, these are great to take. We take 2 a day. My husband takes 2 a day. I take 2 a day. And it has made, I'm just fortunate. I have zero joint pain. My husband's a little bit older than me. He used to have a lot, and he has none now. This has really made a big difference. So I go to it whenever I just think in your head, I think I need some ibuprofen. Try the Agiles if you want a natural solution. It's really a good product. The other pain, let me see. There's some oils that are really great for pain. There's a cool Azul oil. Yeah, there's one called Deep Relief, which comes pre-diluted. You can order from Young Living. That's a great one to carry around for anything. So it's called Deep Relief. It's got a lot of the similar ingredients as Panaway. And I think that's all the pain related, Allie, unless I've missed something.
I was going to say Deep Relief is free this month, but Copaiba is another one that you didn't mention that one yet. It's actually in Deep Relief too. Yeah. But Copaiba is a great one to have on hand because it's a natural anti-inflammatory. It actually used to be in the medical desk reference as the anti-inflammatory in the medical desk reference until ibuprofen came along and paid its way in. But my favorite way to use Copaiba now is under the tongue, like you were talking about earlier, because it's like systemically gets rid of inflammation. Yeah, those are my, that and maybe BLM, which we still have, which I'm using BLM and Agiles right now. Digestion, you want to talk about digestion?
Oh, yes, digestion. So, let me get my notes here. So, digestive issues, whether it's, diarrhea, constipation, IBS, nausea, any of those things. Again, the one product you have in your kit that is best is Digest. A lot of people don't like I have to say, a lot of people don't like the smell. I do. It's got all of those plant-based, those plants that have been used for years for digestive issues. The ancient mariners came over, they always kept ginger on the boats because of nausea. Fennel in Europe. Fennel is used extensively for any digestive issues. It's got anise in it, which is licorice type. It's got peppermint in it. All of these, if you look at each of these plants and oils individually, you'll see they're all great for digestive system. So it's all mixed together and blend. And it is incredible. I've had digestive issues. I had diverticulitis, and it's not fun. And this has been just a lifesaver. So you can use it a lot of different ways. Again, I put it under my tongue because I like to do it, get it quickly and get it done. You can put a drop in water. You can rub it. You can put a rollerball on it and rub it on your stomach. You can put a few drops in your belly button. It'll get right in. So there's a lot of ways to use this. I use this for myself and my son with autism because autism folks tend to have digestive issues. So I make sure he gets a lot of this as well. So this is a great one to that you have in your kit to use for any digestive issues. Again, if you had a binge and you have a hangover, if you for some reason have diarrhea because of something you ate, whatever the issue is, this is really a great one to settle your stomach. So I encourage you all to try it and use it. If you don't like the smell, hold your nose and get it on your body because it'll really, really help. A few other products that Young Living has that are great for our digestive system is, number one, I think one of the best is a probiotic. We all here talk about probiotics. So Young Living has a product called Life 9. It's got 17 billion cultures from 9 different strains. That's probably one of the highest in the market. And this really helps maintain normal intestinal function. And that gives us our great immune system. Our microbiome we talk about is, oh good, you got a slide on it. Yeah. Our microbiome is critical that we have this strong so we can fight off everything. So the Life 9 is a great one. It comes in a capsule. You have to refrigerate it. I take one after dinner in the evening, and my whole family takes it. So it's a great one. Another one that I like a lot, oh yeah, the kids. So there's one called Mighty Zymes, which they developed for kids that has a pre and a probiotic. And so when your kids are young, especially with not everyone eating as healthy as we should, this is a great one to make sure that your children get a good base of microbiome in their stomach. So Mighty Zymes is a great one for that. It's like a little pixie stick. I think people tell me, I haven't tried it, but they tell me it tastes like pixie sticks. Another one for digestive issues is a gel cap, I'll call it or a soft gel, called Digest and Cleanse. Now this one is really to soothe any digestive discomfort. And so a lot of things can upset our digestive tract. It can be stress, it can be toxins, it can be overeating. And so anything that interferes with our normal functions. So what this does is prevent gas, it stimulates your stomach secretions, and it really helps your digestive thing. So it's got similar ingredients to Digest, but it's in a capsule form. And you would take a couple of those. It's a great option too for people who may say, I don't really like the Digest smell. I don't like to put the oil in my mouth. This is a great option, Digest and Cleanse. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is called Comfort Tone. And there's Comfort Tone capsules, which I love. It's a combination of oils and herbs, and it supports your whole, again, digestive tract. And what it does is eliminates all of that residue and gunk that we have in our colon. We all have it based on what we've eaten. And so at some point, you can imagine, not to be too graphic, but that stays in there and rots. You've got to get that out of there. So Comfort Tone is a great way to get your colon cleansed. And it also has great ingredients to help with your liver and your gallbladder too. So you would take 2-3 capsules before bedtime, drink a lot of water with it, and it will, trust me, I've used it, it will clean you out very, very quickly. So those are probably my top 3.
I was going to talk just quickly about, these are actually the old packaging, but I really like this slide, and it's kind of a big deal right now because as of yesterday, Young Living was going to discontinue 2 of our digestive enzymes, and there was such a ruckus made for a long time, Young Living people, that they decided not to discontinue any enzymes. And the reason that they were going to discontinue some is because we have so many. We have 5 digestive enzymes. We have a children's one as well. But there are really benefits to each one. And so some people really prefer Allerzymes because it really does help with allergies, because there's a correlation between digestive health and seasonal allergies. I like to take Essential Zymes because I never can remember to take with my food, which Essential Zymes 4 is probably better for me, but I can never remember to take it when I eat. So a lot of people take Essential Zymes 4 with every meal. I take Essential Zymes when I wake up and before I go to bed, because that's when I take my supplements, because they're by my toothbrush, and that's how I remember. And then Detoxifying is specifically good for vegetarians. So Essential Zymes and Essential Zymes 4 are really good for people who eat meat, and Detoxifying is specifically good for vegetarians and vegans. I highly, highly recommend digestive enzymes. There is so much research on how important enzymes are for the body, not only for digestion, but all kinds of other, like if you grind your teeth at night, they say you're probably lacking in enzymes. And that also helps with that rotting literally in your gut from food, that by taking a digestive enzyme, it helps break it down. And I want to share just a really short story. I have a friend of mine who has celiac, like horrific celiac. Like if she touches anything with gluten, she is violently ill. And for years, she struggled with digestive issues, and they finally figured out what it was. And she was seeing all kinds of practitioners, and they had recommended all different digestive enzymes through the years. And she'd taken all kinds of enzymes, and she switched to Essential Zymes 4. And a few weeks later, she called me and she said, Allie, this is the first time in my life that I have solid poop. Like I literally have had diarrhea for most of my life. It made me realize I was not absorbing the nutrients from my food. And she is like so thin, like not healthy thin, super, super thin. So anyway, I thought I would share that story because essential enzymes are very, very important. Okay. The next thing we have on our list, sorry, I got a bunch of messages. I'm trying to get back to my list here. Was this, we were going to talk a little bit about skincare. And I kind of want to hold off actually on skincare discussion because I think there's going to be an announcement soon from Young Living. So if you want to talk about skincare, hold tight. We'll have a skincare class soon. But I also, I wanted to open it up for some questions. Alkaline, yes. Tamara, do you want to chime in on anything? You're here. Chime in, Tamara.
Well, way to call me out, Allie.
I love you.
I love you too. No, I kind of was secretively hiding in the back, but I did answer a couple questions in chat just in case people had more. Yes, I'm happy to chime in, and I can back up the celiac story because I too have a friend who started taking Essential Zyme 4 and has had incredible luck with it. As crazy as it sounds, she's actually gained like 20 pounds, which when you have celiacs and you are severely malnourished, that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
She was struggling. I mean, she was like 96 pounds. It was ridiculous. So it's actually gaining weight is a good thing for her. Now, that does not mean that you're going to take Essential Zyme 4. I just want to clear that up real quickly. Does not mean you're going to take Essential Zyme 4 and magically start gaining weight. So nobody else worry. Like if that's not what you want to do, if you are trying to lose weight or whatever it is, all we're saying is that it's going to help your body get what it needs, and it's going to help your body get rid of what it doesn't need, is basically. So again, don't think you're going to start taking it and all of a sudden gain a bunch of weight. But yeah, no, I chimed into the class a little bit late, but it's been amazing. You guys have provided really great information. So
Okay.
yeah, if there's anything else I can answer, I totally am here to help.
Awesome. Thank you. I saw also there was a question earlier about fluoride and remineralizations. I can kind of get on a little bit of a soapbox about fluoride because and by the way, my dentist doesn't use any fluoride in his practice at all. He is awake to it. So, and there's another dentist I've used for his pediatric dentist, and he's like, you're pretty, you've got some cojones, as we would say, which means like some balls to come in and talk to a dentist about not using fluoride, right? But the fact of the matter is that fluoride is a neurotoxin. There is no argument there. It is a neurotoxin. It is not good for us. And people are over fluoridating and having fluoridation issues by using fluoride. Fluoride came along with some large corporations that started to use it in their product and touted it as good for the mouth, and it's really not. That doesn't mean that we don't need things to help keep our gums and our teeth healthy, but we certainly don't need neurotoxins to do that. Xylitol works great. Baking soda, coconut oil, colloidal silver. There's many things that we can use in our mouth to keep our mouth healthy. And I can't remember who had asked the question specifically, but there actually is a book called How to Heal Tooth Decay, I think is the name, that has a lot of great information about it, because our mouth is actually a reflection of our internal health. One of the dentists that I work with on oils, the name of his business is Window to the Body. And that is exactly what it is. The health of your teeth has 100% to do with your nutrition. So if you eat not just sugar, but if you eat poorly, your oral health will be poor. When you eat healthy, your oral health will improve. So it's not just about your toothpaste and your mouthwash and your dental floss, which are awesome and amazing for oral health, but eating junk all day is really the fastest way to have bad teeth and bad gums. The skinny recipe. I think probably several of you take the skinny recipe. Okay, so the skinny recipe, speaking of not gaining weight by taking essential zymes, the skinny recipe is basically a recipe that helps balance blood sugar, burn fat, rev the metabolism. Let's see, what else? All the things, balance blood sugar. Oh, good, thanks, Becky, on that. So it has cinnamon bark, which is good for balancing blood sugar, peppermint, which revs the peppermint and black pepper, which help rev the God, my brain is not working. Metabolism, that's the word. Lemon, which helps in grapefruit. So they both help with digestion, help alkalinize the body, help burn fat. So those are great. I actually add nutmeg to mine as well because I suffer with adrenal issues. And so nutmeg is amazing for supporting the adrenals. So that is the skinny recipe. I also want to encourage you guys, if you don't have any more questions, we have another class coming up next week, I want to say. Yes, we have an interest class next Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central, 8 p.m. South Africa. So please feel free to invite your people, same link, same time. And then we have a class next Thursday that is about why Young Living, why you, and why now for the business. So if you're interested in having a side income or you're interested in just the income opportunity with Young Living, I encourage you to come to one of those classes. So you're welcome to invite people to Tuesday's class and then learn how you're just made an income by inviting people to Tuesday's class on Thursday. And that's pretty much, yes. Oh, and that's tonight. That's right. And there's an oil, thank you, Bev. There's an Oily Underground tonight on healthy weight loss at 8 p.m. So if you need the details on that, let me know. It should be posted in all the groups you guys are in. That's all. We made it we made it exactly on time. If there's not any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this call.
Thanks.
Oh, you have a question? Go ahead, Crystal.
Oh, no, I just wanted the information for that class that was tonight, please.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure do you know which group you're in? I have to go look it up.
I'm under my cousin Delilah, and I believe we're under Shelly.
What? Okay. Message your team. We will get you the link. We'll help you. Message someone and we'll get you the link, okay? Thanks for joining, Crystal. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye.